they would call me Donald Rumsfeld no matter where I was. Not just on the phone. I'd walk through the lobby. Mr. Rumsfeld, nice to see you. How are you today, Mr. Rumsfeld? I sit in the restaurant. People know it's me. And the waiter would go, Mr. Rumsfeld goes, nice. They must have thought I was out of my mind. What a great group.
They are great, aren't they?
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're a really good group for a Friday. And I'll tell you, I see you occasionally. We've run into each other, but it was one of the highlights. You know, when you start doing stand-up to open for somebody like this, I opened for you years.
San Jose.
San Jose, exactly. It's a long time ago.
Around 1986 or 7.
Yeah.
San Jose Performing Arts Center. I think that was the name of it.
Good memory, yeah.
Wow, you hit on me, so I
was,
remember.
Oh, that's right. It was right then. You were the one. And, but I was so, you know, because I hadn't seen you do stand-up. I saw you on Saturday Night Live, and it was just so thrilling to open for you.
We had a great time. It was a great, I remember very well. It was a great audience, good room to work in. Comics remember those things.
Yeah, you do. You remember that area is always good, San Francisco.
Yeah, we just closed there. We're on tour with 700 Sundays, so we just closed there, and we open in L.A. tonight.
Tonight?
Actually. Yeah.
Now, is that...
What am I doing here?
I don't know. You should get going, but wait. Are you nervous, or how do you've been traveling, so this is not...
Yeah, you always get nervous when you start a new place, and this is my second home, and I live here most of the time, so you get the, all right, is it going to be okay here? We've done 257 of them now.
Really?
Since Broadway and across the country, Toronto, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, now here. So, you know when I get nervous? When I hear that one person's in the audience who I'm interested in, or is a particular icon or somebody. You know, if it's a big crowd of celebrities like an opening night, I really don't get nervous because.
Really?
If they've done those kind of award shows, they're all there at once. So I've done that. So, but if it's like Meryl Streep's tonight, oh no, you know, oh, she's going to steal my accent. What's going to happen? So you think about the one. It's that crazy little comic villain.
Do you want to know that, or do you tell them I don't want to know who's in the audience?
I like to know.
You do?
Yeah, I like to know because then, you know, I want to see how they're going to be backstage.
And then do you look for them? Do you try to...
No.
You don't?
That's the worst.
Can you see the audience, or do you perform where you don't want to see them?
No, I like to see like the first 5 or 6 rows to see who's on the cell phone. No, I mean, on Broadway, that was the biggest problem that we had. It wasn't my stamina, it was that the cell phones would go off constantly.
And do you find that some areas, like, I find Canadians to be some of the most polite audiences I've ever played for. Yeah. Do you find that?
Yeah, polite I'm not thrilled with, but I'd like them to be funny.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they were great. Toronto was really great, but you've done hundreds of shows and you'll have thousands.
Yeah.
Isn't it always a phenomenon when you're playing like 2,000 people at a time, bigger, when it's a night of, they're dull? Yeah. The audience is dull?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
It's the entire audience takes on one personality.
Do they call each other
before? Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
And say, I'm going to go to the show, are you?
Yeah,
yes.
right.
I'm not planning on having a really good time, are you? No. Good, I'll meet you. And let's not go out afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's a phenomenon.
You go, and there are certain cities that they're just great, and same show, same words, and everyone has a totally different energy in there.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that there can be 2,000, like you guys were great, and from the beginning.
They really are, every day,
we get it.
Yeah.
But there's that could be the same group, but just I could point them and they just wouldn't respond. It's a phenomenon to me.
Yeah, it's amazing. I find now, because when I used to travel, I really would say, at some point, you have to come to me because I'm tired of coming to you. And now they are coming to me, which I love, because it's a great energy. Everybody comes here, but you're still traveling doing the show. We have to take a break. When we come back, I want to find out what that's like to go back to traveling again after all that. We'll be right back with Billy Crystal. We're back with Billy Crystal, and we're talking about 700 Sundays, the play, and you're traveling with it now. Where have you been so far?
Toronto, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, and out here. And then we did 27 weeks on Broadway.
Wow. And are you loving traveling again? You must have to love it.
Well, you know, that was good, wasn't it? The hotel thing gets a little old. It's great for the show because I don't have to worry about something. The room service is there and that kind of stuff. But Do you use a pseudonym? You must when you check in.
Yes.
Yeah, so you use a name so people don't find you and call
Yeah, if they know you're
so.
in town, they'll try to find you if you don't change your name.
So just for personal phone calls to come through, that they use a code name, they know to get right through. So I've run out of names after the years. So I was in Toronto and I used Donald Rumsfeld.
Uh-huh.
And so now this hotel, Canada, very polite, as you said, very proper. They would call me Donald Rumsfeld no matter where I was. Not just on the phone. I'd walk through the lobby. Mr. Rumsfeld, nice to see you. How are you today, Mr. Rumsfeld? I sit in the restaurant. People know it's me. And the waiter would go, Mr. Rumsfeld goes, they must have thought I was out of my mind.
Yeah.
How's the bombing going, Mr. Rumsfeld? Oh, those insurgents, Mr. Rumsfeld. So a woman calls me from housekeeping. When would you be leaving your room, Mr. Rumsfeld? So I said, when the Iraqis can defend themselves. So she says, well, just leave the clean up the room thing on the phone, on the doorway. So I work out every day right before the show. So,
You do?
Oh yeah, I actually travel with the gym with me because the show's very physical, and
Wow.
I just, like break a sweat before I hit the stage, and so I swim a lot. So this place had actually a beautiful spa that had like an indoor fireplace. It was like a greenhouse, and so I hit the place like 8 o'clock in the morning before everyone gets there, and the spa thing is not good with the robes, and you have to show yourself to people. It's not good.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything to hide.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
So I swim in it's a thong thing, Ellen. It's a thing. Just so I can move, and the goggles. So
What color? I just want to get an image.
It's black. It's black.
All right.
It's black.
Okay.
And so I'm swimming underwater, because it's great for my lungs, because my lungs great capacity. So I come out from doing my 20 laps underneath the water, and there's a crowd of 40, 50 people who are coming into the area for a brunch. So I get out of the water in my thong and my glasses, dripping wet, and the intercom goes off, Mr. Rumsfeld, white courtesy phone. Donald Rumsfeld, please pick up the white courtesy phone. So they all look around for Donald Rumsfeld, and I answered the phone. And they're looking at me in my thing, and I went, good morning. Now it's my wife calling, but I went, Mr. President, good to talk to you. The Koreans said, what? And I just stormed out of my little thong in a huff.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I've stayed in some horrible places. I stayed in a hotel that was just horrendous, and I like to work out on the road when I was doing stand-up. And I called down to the lobby, and it was a horrible hotel, and I said, do you have a gym here? Yes. Yes, we do. We have many. Who would you like to speak to? Seriously. She had such an attitude. We have several. Who would you like to speak to?
She'd gotten a call many times before
Yeah,
that day.
no, but she was really serious. She was really serious.
Sad.
Yeah, it was sad. All right, we have to take another break. We'll be back with Billy Crystal. We're back with Billy Crystal, and now you have announced you are not going to host the Oscars this year.
They did ask, and I can't because I'm doing a show, so it's just too much, too hard.
Now, and
I didn't point to you.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, they must ask you every single year, and is it something that because they're going to come to you, do you absolutely love doing it, or do you go, God, do I have to top myself every year?
A little bit of both of that. Mm-hmm. It depends on what I'm doing and how I'm feeling, really, and then do I feel that I could do something new? We've done 8 of them. I think we did a lot of different things on the show, but after 8, I don't know what else to do sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, and it was so, for me, so much fun and so complete. How could I? The pressure is, how can I do it better?
Yeah.
And so if I don't feel particularly motivated, I go, I'm just going to pass this year.
Yeah, but you must because you really are, the best, in my opinion. You really are the best in hosting.
But I still think that you did perhaps the best hosting job I've ever seen after 9/11 on the Emmys.
No, thank you.
And no, and actually true. In the most difficult of circumstances.
It's kind of tough. Kind of tough. Well, anyway, so let's talk about. Well, before this, you're a lot of the play and the book now. You have the book also, 700 Sundays. It's about your life and it's about your family members and a lot of musicians that hung out.
Yeah, my dad was in the music business. My uncle, his brother-in-law, my mom's brother, was a pioneer in jazz recording. Recorded everybody. Really started jazz on records, and then ended up producing rock around the clock. So, in a way, the book is also, and the play is also about the beginnings of jazz on record, and it's leaving us because rock and roll starts to take over. And we had this legendary little music store in 42nd Street where I grew up going to with my dad. And the title refers to the time that we had together. He worked 2 jobs. The only day we really had alone with him was Sunday. And then he died suddenly when I was 15. So I just once figured out I had roughly 700 Sundays with him that were great days. And that's what the play is really about, times we had and times we didn't have. And so the musicians were in the house all the time, the greatest of the day. At one time, and it was a great mingling of our Jewish family and these predominantly African-American jazz musicians all together at bar mitzvahs and functions. It was just an odd pairing. And one time my grandmother turned to Louis Armstrong at a Seder, Passover, and said, "Louis, have you tried just coughing it up?" But those are the people that I was around, and I really think that's when I started performing a lot. And it's in the show where I start dancing with these guys and tap dancing with them and learning how to be funny, because these guys were so cool and funny. And we had a very eclectic family, very funny people. And that's where you start performing.
And
right?
at what age do you find yourself starting to do this?
3, 5 years old.
Really?
5 years old, I dance. It's in the show. I danced before like 500, 600 people at a jazz concert that my dad was producing, and that's the first time I'm on stage.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And this is, I was asking someone what this is. These are drawn by.
This is my Uncle Burns. They're called Fuzzies, and he's 91 years old, and he's an artist. Has been. My daughter Lindsay did a documentary on him on HBO. Turn that one the other way.
The other way, yes.
Last year actually, called My Uncle Burns, which did really well, won a lot of film festivals, and he's 91. And he does these little creatures called Fuzzies. And if you go to target.americangreetings.com for the Target company, Burns has done these, and they've animated these little characters into these. This one is hilarious. This is in Florence. They go to some.
Well, your life sounds, I mean, I can't wait to see it. You're here in Los Angeles. 700 Sundays is playing at the Wilshire Theater in LA until February 18th. And the book is currently in stores. And I can't wait to see it. Congratulations.
Thanks, Alan. It's great to be here.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.